What's up, Tiny? Good to see you, friend. Alright. Okay, we're hovering Misfortune. That's good. Who did I ban? I don't even... Echo and Graves, I guess.
Echo and Graves. I like how we're on the same pattern here. I mean, if I could play Echo, but I'll wait a game. I'll play him next game.
Get that garbage out of here. Five jungle bans. Yeah.
I mean,
Kicking noobs to the curb. That's right, Zach.
I like all those bans actually. They're all pretty good.
Jungle does have some of the highest win rate champions right now.
I mean, all those 5 junglers are like consistent.
Yeah, those are all like pretty good.
Every single one.
No, I mean, I think I just for con.
Let's dance.
Hey, what's up, Tiny? Oh, it's your weekend over there on Thursday. Okay. Yeah, I was telling Jason I got my student evals back today, and they were way better than I thought they would be. They're actually incredibly good. I think statistically they were the best evals ever. I had less of a sample size. There were only like 8 students out of the 15 that replied, but it was good. And I thought they were going to get me because I just took on too much this semester. I was trying to teach 5 classes and channel and everything else. I mean, I fell behind on the channel too, posting stuff as much as I'd like to. Legendary thought. That's pretty funny. Instead of thought. It's the thought of legend. She has lured 5 billionaires into her web. But it actually ended up being pretty solid. So that was good.
Well,
Oh, they picked Azir.
I'll play Galio game.
Okay. I mean, Galio is pretty good right now. I didn't notice that. You found the other Azir player on the server.
Apparently so. Watch me just get wrecked.
Let's see. I was... I think I'll stick with the CDR rune. I'm not sure if that's correct instead of the AP rune, but... We'll see. What do you guys think of my camera? Do you like... Is the camera over here okay, or do you want me to move it back over to the other place? This is where I put it for Cyberpunk, but I can move it back over for League. I was just too lazy to make another scene in OBS. Didn't Galio get gutted? He did get nerfed. I don't know about gutted. I think his win rate's still pretty good. Yo, what's up, Sammy? Let me see. No, he's still rocking 53%.
Oof. That's not good.
What? Oh, Hail Blades of Mumu.
I would assume so. That's not good.
Doesn't seem great. I mean, I'm not entirely convinced that it's completely terrible, but yeah, it's probably not amazing. We're kind of relying a lot on this Misfortune for DPS.
Oh, this is a Mumu. It's just...
Yeah, just run, just run, just run.
Used to be a square. Then I embraced the darkness. Woohoo!
He probably meant to take Electrocute or something and took Hail instead. Be my assumption. Passive debuff? I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could put it on multiple people in a team fight faster. I don't know. Whoa, he's skipping Gromp? I mean, I guess he is better at the AoE camps, but Gromp does heal you. I think that's like the best one, I thought. He's just gonna flash flay at level 2.
Evil loves luck. Living the dream. The dream.
Jesus. Thank God that was Ezreal instead of somebody else. Any other ADC probably would have killed her.
Blazing by self-control is for starters. I think it's fun.
We're actually not that far behind. As far as CS goes, that's good.
I don't apologize. Doing my thing. But it is less complicated.
Wow. He still had enough mana for that? I guess that was his last little ounce of mana. I didn't think he was going to have enough mana left for his E. He probably backed. I mean, can we... And they might be on it. We got to push one more. He's Yeah, he used like literally his very last mana point, I think, to get that E off. Thresh's missing. I think he backed, but I'm not 100 about that.
Oh my god, he flashed for me.
Forget my name, just call Woo! Being bad just feels so good.
a dragon after that. Hey, what's up? What's the chat getting you for Christmas? I don't know, man. Plan B. God. Giving you the peace of mind of not having that kid that you didn't want to have. Piece of bread. God.
You go in, I got ult.
Okay, here they're playing so far back. I think Thresh, like they know. I feel like maybe if Amumu hits this. Okay, nice. The bait. Holy shit. Why did she keep going with that? Really? Amumu, please don't take that. Oh my god. Really? He just walked up and took like 2 tower shots. Like, dude, you don't have a movement speed boost. Like, there's no way you're gonna walk up and auto him. Damn, that was rough. Yeah, just like the Amumu just walking under tower is just like, I mean, I get it, like you're frustrated, he's like 1 pixel away from dying to your W, but it's not gonna happen, you know? Doesn't matter if it's 1 pixel or the entire length of the screen. If it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. What? Okay, maybe he comes down again. I don't know. It feels like they know that something's going on over there. Thresh is playing really far back, but yeah. We don't have our ult because Misfortune has randomly used it. I have mine, but Misfortune doesn't have hers.
Oh my god, really?
Mumu's not there. At least get that experience there. Why'd Misfortune go that way?
Good guys are just kidding themselves.
Okay, nice. I think was top. swiftness and see if I can just roam more. Try to use this ult on cooldown.
Let's destroy everything they hold.
How low is Nidalee? Not very. Overstayed and died.
Evil loves me.
Yeah, you're getting beat by Ezreal. It is embarrassing.
I hope this works. Living a dream.
I'm coming.
Shit. Now. Misfortune didn't have her ult. I should have checked to make sure. She was pinging me go, and I just assumed she had her ult, but I should have looked at the dot first.
Self-control.
I'm not gonna be able to hit him, man. Okay, well, we got his flash.
I don't know.
Really? Okay, they're backing. Whoa, no, dude! What the fuck? Okay, well, can we kill her?
Nidalee's there. I mean, I'm like
That's fine.
close to dying.
Misfortune is straight ulted the wave. I mean, I don't know. Like, it buys 10 seconds or so, maybe, but now we can't fight for another however long. Dragon's up in 40.
Nice.
How long is that? 84. Yeah, so we're going to be down 40 seconds on that ult. I don't think that's worth it to clear a wave slightly faster.
I'm almost to you guys. You guys go on
Okay.
him. I can go on Nidalee.
Okay. She's running, she's running.
Oh. Yeah. I thought you were in it.
No, she ran out of the way. She's got a jump up every like 2 seconds.
Life is way more fun when we give up the rules.
Oh, we don't have Misfortune's ult. We gotta wait on that. Galio OP.
Right, baby. It's really good, really, really good.
I'm coming up here. No. Damn it, he was too far away from an E.
Oh!
I don't have any mana left. Run!
Oh, I'm dead.
She's gonna get you, yeah. Oh, New Zealand. You have the Shire. Oh, is Jacinda the New Zealand president? I mean, I would like to go visit. I've never been there before. It would be cool.
I love evil loves me.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Living the dream. The dream of
Misfortune's probably gonna get bottom.
And I had them all taunted
Yeah,
for a second.
it was rough. Okay, nice. The Amumu Misfortune Rakan plus you. That's a lot of team fight though. Hopefully we can get him.
Yeah.
No, God, this. Why is she so bad? Dude, wait on the Amumu. It's such a comedy of errors. Bear.
I should probably back. I got TP.
Okay. This AD Scion's actually doing pretty well. This bruisery sort of Scion.
Nice. Nice. Oh my god, that's huge.
I'm low.
Rangers should be flanking.
Boomers aren't the problem. Boomers be booming.
Life is way more fun when you give up the rules.
Hit, please. Alright. I want to TP mid, but I'm not gonna waste it.
I dance to the beat called darkness. Doing the right thing was boring. I'm waiting for fun now.
What in the...
I don't know what his ear was doing. Did he lag? I was waiting on him to shuffle somebody somewhere.
Do we win off this?
Possibly. I don't know what just happened to that Azir.
What the hell?
I thought he was gonna shuffle all of us somewhere crazy, and I was waiting. And then he just stood there. Maybe he got... Did you taunt him?
I might have, I think.
Okay, maybe you just...
I have to look at it.
taunted him or something. I don't know. Or somebody
Like as soon as I saw him, I just taunted him.
Okay, maybe that was it. It's just enough to ruin him.
Wow. Well. I thought Galio would be better against this year, but
Seemed like you're pretty good against him later, but early game's probably kind of tough.
yeah, early game was a little tough, but I guess the late game was pretty good. Even though he's a good late game. All I did was try and taunt him. That's it.
I think you got him.
Well, I think our team fight was just that insane.
Colbert and Letterman. People were saying. Well, I haven't watched a lot of the Colbert, but Colbert feels like he is like 100, like not 100, but like very, very political in what he's doing in his satire, and he's taking a very, very pointed stance, way more than Letterman. I mean, I don't remember Letterman, but I remember Letterman being more of like an entertainer. I was a bit, I didn't watch him much. I remember him being a bit more of a neutral kind of feels good entertainer thing, where it feels like Colbert is much more of a, like, I'm definitely hard left, like almost like satirical news type of thing, rather than like a talk show. I liked the Colbert Report, the original thing. I thought it went more over the top satirical, and I thought it satirized multiple parties and multiple things. It felt like anytime I tried to watch Colbert, though, it was just straight up just bash Trump the entire time, which is like, oh, okay, but it just didn't feel like it was different or anything unique. I thought the Colbert Report was unique. I thought it had much better writers on it. But anyways. But yeah, I don't know. I could see where someone would think that's more of a problem, because like the talk show, I would think those old talk shows are supposed to be much more of a funny, feels good. I feel like Jimmy Fallon is more of that type of thing, where he just kind of has fun with hosts and goofs around a lot more, and Colbert is much more pointed and political.
Already off to a better start than we've had the past 3 nights. Let's
Right.
go.
How did the Colbert Report get him in legal trouble? Is it too satirical or something?
What are you doing, small cat?
Yeah, the Colbert Report was great. I didn't watch it all the time, but I watched it sometimes. I thought it was hilarious. I just like his persona. It was so far over the top. I thought he just quit doing it just because he got tired of doing the persona. He just wanted to do something more real. Also, it's probably a huge bump in money to be on a major network. Let me see that replay here real quick. What happened there?
When he tried to come in.
Yeah. Where? I have so many freaking tabs open. What is this?
If I didn't taunt him, what he should have done was ulted all of us and then put his tower up. That was the play.
Yeah, tell him, dude. Yeah,
But I
message
mean,
him.
the Galio taunt is, I mean, if it gets you, it gets you. It's
Yeah.
happened to me playing a 0-2. I've just gone right in and been taunted and just died.
Monkey editor. Is that it? Dang it! I have so many tabs open right now.
It's just, I feel like Galio's taunt's just so good.
It is. They did nerf the cooldown on it on this patch, I think.
Oh. Damn.
But yeah, it is really good. Is this it? I'm trying to figure out where my... Okay, close that. Oh, here it is. Okay. Alright, let's see what happened there. Toos. Yeah, Toos is playing, he's playing some off-meta picks there. He's climbing up, even though he said he was upside down on... I think he's still at like a 60 or 70% win rate. Alright, where... I think that was... Okay, yeah, there's the Azir. I didn't even see him creeping on the side. Was this the play? I think it was. Yeah. I should have seen him on those wards. I wasn't paying attention. Alright, so let's see what happened here. Yeah, there. Oh, damn it. It always does that. The game pops, like, right when, like, the key moment's coming up. So he goes over.
Oh yeah, I'm watching too. Alright, here he comes.
Well, you did taunt him, but then he was just walking around.
Huh.
Yeah, he had like a good 2 or 3 seconds. Like, everyone was just spreading out as soon as he came over. Everyone just starts running. Me too. I was like, uh-oh. And then he's just walking around. So I think he may have got him a little bit at the beginning, but he was definitely just walking for like 2 seconds. Like, oops. Maybe he decided it was a bad idea because everyone spread out and he was just trying to run after that. Then he starts auto-attacking minions. That's what leads me to believe he may have, like, lagged or something there.
You used to be cool.
Axie's taunted.
Got sued or
Yeah.
something and had to use the defense that the Colbert Report is a character he plays. Well, yeah, I'm sure that all of those satirical shows...
I see what happened.
What?
So, right after my taunt, he got a Moo queued and then stunned again, and then I knocked him up. I think that's
Okay.
how he just died, yeah.
Okay.
Just looking at it more. Yeah, I think that's what happened. Unless maybe he was just walking around, I don't know.
Yeah, let's just stay off the gender stuff, just in general. It's just not... Like, there's no point. Guess let's do Recon again against Triss. I don't know. I just feel like winning some. Let's play some Recon.
Let's dance.
Let's just let it go in the chat, guys. Let's just not be political or cultural or whatever. Can I climb out of low elo as support? Sure. I mean, this account, when I started this account, I started in, I think it was like bronze 2 or bronze 3 or something. It's definitely possible. You just have to, oh, hold on one second. Let me see. We're going to be poked by the Lulu. You're probably going to have to, play something proactive, I think. So stuff that can make plays. And ideally something that, you know, uses some of the best support items right now. So I think that, you know, stuff you can play that can be good. I think that, like, Sona is kind of easy to execute, and she's pretty good right now. Nami's pretty good as far as, like, if you like enchanters. I still think your engaged champs, your Rakan, Nautilus, Leona can all be very good. Even in lower brackets, I think Zyra can still be pretty good. She doesn't really work that well with a lot of the good items right now, but I think I just don't even know if Mandate Rylai's is any good anymore. But yeah, I mean, there are several things. I've actually got a video how to carry a support where I kind of talk through it. I have several of them, but I think that, you know, just learning how to, because you control vision, which allows you to make good plays and convey a lot of information to your team. So you get good vision of the enemies, you rotate, you roam, you make good plays, you protect the right priority targets. Hey, thanks, Pranav. I appreciate it. Hey, it's a good place to start. You know, I'm happy to answer any questions, and everyone in here, you know, is friendly and willing to help you out too. So it is a little unusual, and a lot of people have a hard time wrapping their mind around how you carry a support when you don't control that much gold. But the thing is, like, a lot of the stuff that you do is not going to be directly reflected on a lot of statistics, right? Like getting good vision and making good engages and having good roams. There'll be some of that will show up, but it's one of the roles that's the hardest to understand analytically.
There's a Lulu.
Yeah.
Or if it's warded.
It's because it's not as simple as get a lot of kills and do a lot of damage most of the time. Unless it's Brand or Zyra, it might be that sometimes, but... But yeah, I mean, I think support has some of the most variety too. And there are some other things that are perks of playing support outside of just the game itself. Number one, like, you always get support. Basically, if you ask for supports, that means you don't have to try to learn multiple roles. You don't have to worry about being auto-filled very often. So that's huge. And then allows you to specialize a lot more. And then you're keeping other people from playing support too, which is one of the most filled roles. Support in jungle. And so that means you're putting your better team in a position to win, because it's less likely someone is not going to be on their main role if you're playing support. So both of those are, and people are just going to be in a better mental too. A lot of people don't like playing support, so they're like in a bad mood if they get put in support. So those are like 3 ways that can help you win. That's actually why I started playing support. One of the major reasons, at least I went back to it in Season 2. So I used to play a lot of top Rumble, but my bot lane always lost, and I would always get people complaining and picking these troll picks in support. And so I just got tired of it, so I just started playing support instead. You're way too far forward, Samira. If Triss jumps on you... Like, if that Lulu was playing up and they were looking to make a play there, they could have definitely punished us. Yeah, those are a couple of things about support too that just go underappreciated, I think, is just how much it helps, like, your team in some of these intangible ways. Jeez. Damn it. Dude, are they really? No way.
An enemy has been slain.
You can wear it like a... I feel like
Yeah, there was something you could do, to be honest, is stay in fucking range so I can shield you. Or just back up. Or just like back up because we had him dead. The only reason that they got multiple kills off is because Triss got resets because she got a kill. We could have
Oh
easily...
my god, it's Kaisa jungle. I didn't even realize. Holy.
We could have easily just killed the Lulu and backed up if she didn't step forward like that and get into Lulu Ignite range.
An enemy has been slain.
No. You get down. Don't trust you up here.
Self-control is for starvers. I choose fun. So hot. I'm like a comet.
Alright. Don't play Samira.
Eh.
Triss is calling this Samira out.
Yeah, well, it's pretty obvious she's bad. There's no
I
point
can
in
hit
saying
level
anything.
6. Should I try and roam down there, or do you think we would all of us would die?
I think we could kill him if you get down here. The Lulu is pretty aggressive. They're gonna back though, so
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna back.
Next time, I'll say my ult, hopefully,
okay.
and I'll roam bot. Hopefully we get a kill.
Starshine is for weak.
Yeah, Kaisa's right here.
All right. I don't have ult or anything.
It's all good.
I'm gonna ward over the
Oh,
pit,
she-
but I can't.
I'm just helping it along.
An enemy has been slain.
I'm killing top. As long as we can maybe stop them from doing dragon. No, they want to do dragon right now because they saw Ramus top.
Yes.
Triss is not here.
Dragon should beat them up pretty bad. Oh yeah, she is now.
Ramus is here too, so is Ribbon though. Oh my god, what the hell was that? What just killed me?
Thanks, Riku. Real cool.
Enemy
Oh my god, what? Something just did half of my HP instantly.
As far as the eye can see.
And then Ramus like stayed on dragon.
Bait him. Keep him. Or maybe not. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
enemy is godlike.
Well,
What the fuck? It said the Triss did a lot of damage. Like, how did she do like 500 damage?
I saw stars for a second.
She only has Noon Quiver Pickaxe. It was seriously like, it was so much fucking damage. Was it the Diana ult? Maybe it was a Diana ult and the bomb at the same time. The bar, when I looked at the replay, the bar was like, it said 90% of the damage was Trist or something. Because I was looking to see, because I thought maybe it was Diana, but it looked like it was almost all Trist. Was it just like a fully stacked Trist bomb, and she crit on it, and she ulted me at the same time or something? Holy shit. I guess I should have eat back out. I thought we won that. Because I hit Lulu. And Lulu, like, died instantly. At least she should have. I don't know if she did. I think she maybe did. I don't know. No, the bomb doesn't do that much damage. Wait, why did she just randomly W? What's going on? Is she inting now? Is someone on our team saying something to her?
No.
The Samira?
No.
She just like W'd for no reason. And then ran at him. And like no health. It's like a 0% chance that that was gonna be a kill.
Life sucks without Zaya, but it is less complicated.
Kaisa jungle, eh?
OP.
It's not that I completely lost my sense of calm. It's that the light inside me died a long time ago, leaving a dark.
Dude, she's gotta be inting. Like, this is a win trade? In like Plat 4? In the preseason? I don't understand. I want to ask like why the int, but we might be able to win through Jason and the Riven. I don't know.
Life is way more fun when you give up the rules.
Dude, Samira, what a joke, man. That last one, that could have just been bad, but the one before looked like it had to be just a straight int.
This planet's going down.
Jesus Christ, Triss has 9 kills.
Living the dream.
I'm coming. What the fuck? How did she dodge that? I'm calling shenanigans on that.
She gonna get away?
No. What? How did my jump not work, though? Okay, they're gonna kill her Kaisa top, probably, but Triss is gonna get that dragon. Triss and Lulu are gonna come rolling up here soon. Probably.
Alright, so I'm gonna try and push this one back.
I think we're just gonna have to give that dragon. They're probably on the dragon.
You wanna? Well, I
I
guess
don't have
not.
any wards, and I mean, Samira is worthless. Yeah, they're on it. I think it's gonna be too
Straight
hard to
10-0.
get it.
Yeah.
No, actually they're not. Wow, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I guess they're just sitting in a bush waiting on me to rotate or something. The old bush macro.
Safety
Bush macro.
boring, Miku. Let's start a fight.
So me and you have to jump on the Triss if we can.
Oh yeah, Triss has to die. When did she get a 10th kill? She killed Samira again? Oh, she did. Okay. That's what they were doing. They killed Samira one more time. I didn't even notice.
I don't know about this, boys.
Nah, we can't, man.
Oh man, I want to go now, but
Maybe a 4v5 against a hyper-fed Trist, or a 3v4, whatever, down one.
I mean, if I can land a sweet ult here.
Yeah, you can land an ult.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, if I have my E, I can probably get to Diana.
I'm dead, though. Yeah. Dude, not even scratched. Triss 100 to 0'd the Samira without even a scratch. Why are we still killing Fiora though? Like, who cares? We need Rammus middle.
Stars are just
Oh, I shouldn't have gone back in. I didn't have an E to get back out. Like, no one went on her.
falling endlessly in a cycle they can't control. Anyone have chocolate? I'm craving chocolate.
An enemy is legendary.
Safe is for nerds.
They're gonna try and tap this
It's just
tower.
us. You gotta back up, I think. Rammus has got those golems while they push mid. Rammus, dude, they're on the fucking tier 2, bro.
Still made it
Jesus
out,
Christ,
man.
just imagine if Rammus was actually there.
An enemy is legendary.
Most good guys are just kidding themselves.
I think the damage might be done. I don't know.
Nah.
Might be able to win this. Just 1 in 8.
It's so bad, it's incredible. Like, I really thought it was inting a couple of times in lane. But maybe if you can get a good grab on her. I mean, Ribbon can blow her up too at some point. It's,
Yeah.
The Lulu's gonna make it really hard too.
We actually don't have pretty good CC for her.
Yeah, I mean, if Rammus is just actually there, it should be pretty clean.
Yeah. Be careful, Diana. She will blow the Samira up. I mean,
An ally has
Oh, I thought Samira was still level 2.
you would think.
Yeah. I don't know why we keep trying to split push into this Triss. Like, she's gonna one-shot anybody, even the Rammus.
Yeah, we have to fight like as one. We can push this since she's bot. I got
Yeah.
tower. We can try and kill her actually if we can get this. Alright, good.
Damn it, that reset her gold though.
Yeah. Alright, I'm putting
Oh,
something
here's
else put up
Triss.
here just in case. That was actually really good, Riven. Okay, this Riven's pretty decent. That's good. Oh, Trish is right here.
Who's Rammus chasing? Lulu?
Whatever.
Oh, we got Dragon up though.
I do what I want.
Careful.
Yeah. Oh. I can like stall him here maybe?
Oh.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry. We have to get
No,
out.
that's fine.
You're eating me.
That's fine. I'm fine.
Oh no. Just get out of that.
Yeah, we just need to bail.
Get out.
Fine,
Get out.
yeah,
Get out.
I'm
Get out.
Nope, Riven.
Don't get baited. We're getting baited.
We don't have cooldowns, man.
We got a dragon and we got a kill. I guess I stay here.
Yeah. Okay, now we can dive him under tower.
Alright, yeah. I'll go.
Okay.
Oh, the Trace! Oh my god. She must have jumped elsewhere.
Jumped like 1 billion yards. I don't have any freaking mana.
Oh my god. Rammus is starting to taunt. We might actually be able to win. I forgot about that. Yeah, if Rammus just taunts the Trace, it's over.
Yeah. If he's there and uses his CC, yeah.
Yeah.
I was out of mana. I was getting spooky. Bunch of Janna simps.
Living the dream.
Gotta be Janna simping.
I honestly probably am gonna get a Seekers and a stopwatch for when I go into ult. Because she's so strong.
I would just get damage, man. I would just blow him up.
Okay. Alright, well, we're going Death Cap then.
Yeah, that's right.
It's-
How many wards, Riven, please?
I don't apologize. Doing my thing.
Just give me a second to get the wards in before you start Ramboing.
Pretty scared to go anywhere because I don't know where Triss is at.
Yeah. Top side seems to be clean.
Perfection doesn't exist. Except for my
Yeah, definitely. Lean towards top. Samira's bot, of course. Oh. Right here.
Yeah.
Good.
Let's start a fight.
Don't know about this.
Triss. Oh my
Oh.
god.
Okay, no. I just bail. They're probably gonna get Baron.
How the hell did Samira die?
Oh, I have no idea. I was not even paying attention to that.
Triss wasn't even around there.
Jeez.
We at least need Riven. Okay, Diana's bottom.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we go Baron.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Slow. Give that tower.
I only believe in myself.
Trist. Help, 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 help.
Trying.
Oh, she missed.
An ally has been slain.
You can body block me. Let's go to the ribbon. I might just have to clear mid.
Yeah.
I mean, we can. I'll collapse on her.
Okay.
Self-control is for star nerds.
What?
Really?
Ribbon's gonna get her, I think. Right, she's right there, dude. Oh my god.
I got 3 seconds on my E. I might be able to drift over. It's alright, you got it.
Oh my god, Lulu lived?
Oh boy. Yeah. She's gonna kill everybody. We just look at it. So annoying.
An ally has been slain.
She had like 5 billion health from the Lulu. Buffing her up. And that's all that lifesteal. Wow, she's still chasing.
Chaos. I'm just helping it along.
I guess we got Ocean though. Really, dude? She's still chasing. Okay.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Oh, I guess that's good.
Well, at least we got 3 drags.
Yeah.
World's gonna burn. Amazing by far.
Oh baby.
Oh, she mad?
She mad right now.
Dude.
All right, yeah, it's gonna be 3 people to kill her. Like me, you, and Riven can do it.
Yeah. Here, watch out. Don't go looking in there. We'll have to just
Yeah.
wait until she steps out a little bit.
Being bad feels
Dude.
so good.
Died 13 times in a platinum game. I mean, they're all bot side. We could try to force something up here.
Honestly, if we just catch
Dude,
Triss,
that's
we
so
blow
far
her.
ahead, though, Ramus. I mean, is he gonna kill her? Can't, man. You're so far ahead of everybody.
How about that? I just have to give.
Shit, now Riven just used her ult. What is wrong with people? What's going on?
Are you able to get out of that?
Yeah, I guess so, because she knocked me back.
Boring. I'm way more fun now. My cloak is woven from the whispers.
Just give it. You're not gonna steal it, Samira. Triss just gonna jump over the wall and kill you. Oh my god.
I'll
She's
try
like
and come in.
randomly uses her W. I'm pretty sure she's like trolling. Like, why would you randomly use your W right there?
We going on this?
I don't have ult or anything. Yeah, I'm a reporter for trolling. Like, that's like 2 or 3 times I've seen her just randomly use her W, like in front of me, and it's like a 30-second cooldown or something. I mean, if Samira was actually trying, I'm pretty sure we could have won, but I don't know if she's just like mad at me or something from the laning phase or what.
She said nothing about you.
Well, that was a myth. That was a diff and myth. You mean what is the goal overall for ranked, or are you saying what is my goal for ranked? I mean, I try to think of it more as a process than a destination. So I just try to, just get better as much as I can. But I don't have like a specific elo bracket I'm looking for. I mean, my main's in Diamond 4. But I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool to get higher, but realistically, am I going to get to Masters? Probably not, but maybe. My goal. Yeah, I mean, it's just to try to get better. That's it. Nothing super specific. But there's not like a destination or anything. Because if I win the game, I win the game. If I don't, I don't. I just try to learn stuff, try to come up with some effective builds, occasionally try out some new stuff. If I get Challenger, I can get invited to in-houses. I mean, that'd be cool, but that's really far off, probably. I mean, maybe, but...
use of the core.
Well, yeah, I mean, even like it would have been nice to get to Diamond back in the day. I was always just trying to, I think, just get better. But yeah, I mean, getting to Diamond is nice. It'd be nice to get that on this account too. I mean, we rocketed right up to like Platinum 2 or Platinum 3 right at the beginning of the preseason on this account. I think I just got promoted to Platinum 2 and then...
Yeah, I was Plat 3 too. Almost to Plat 2.
Yeah. Then the meta just shifted around. Everybody figured out that Night Harvester was really good and they nerfed it really hard.
Yeah.
Nerfed a lot of the AP items pretty hard. And then other people figured out other builds that worked. But yeah, Night Harvester was mega OP and no one was getting it. All the all caps videos were wrong. They're all focusing on like the Dust Blade. And we knew the truth. But unfortunately
Yeah.
Riot knew the truth too, because they have access to statistics and not all caps videos, so...
Must have saw my win rate. Your win rate.
Yeah,
Rakan can't be getting this item.
that's right.
Why is Rakan getting this item?
That's right. I guess let's play Rakan again. It's not insane into Leona, but I need some way to get onto Kog'Maw. Yeah, I mean, well, maybe. I don't know if it would be a Tahm Kench if Tahm was good, because they have Leona, which makes you want to peel, but then they also have Kog'Maw, which makes you want to engage, so... Maybe should have gone for the armor rune instead of the magic resist rune, I don't know. No, I'm not doing it. It's not good to get Night Harvester on Rakan anymore. I don't think so anyways. I mean, it was a very, very significant... It was like 100 damage off or something like that. It was a super significant nerf. And I think, I don't know, maybe it's just like now it's like so much cheaper. There's 2,500 for mandate, so they took 200 off. I think you just have to go mandate. Harvester still has 40 more AP on it, and the proc. But the proc on Harvester now is like, when I would get it, is probably going to be like 175 or something, 150. Versus Mandate's proc is on a much lower cooldown and gives like the movement speed and all that stuff, and I'm pretty sure it's pretty close to like 130 or something, so it's... And it's like 700 or 800 gold cheaper. I think you just have to go Mandate now. Although Harvester, I think, was the call before it got nerfed.
I still think it's alright right now still.
Yeah. On like an AP middle, it's okay. It's a little bit different because you actually get farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. It's just, it's so expensive on support. Like, there are some games where I literally can't complete the
Oh,
item
yeah,
until, like,
yeah, for you.
until like 20 minutes or 25 minutes, yeah. The components are nice, like the whatever it is, the starter, the Hextech revolver thing. They're buffing Trellias. Yeah, I saw that. Good. I still don't know. I mean, they're taking it up to 60%. Just make it non-decay. I don't know what's hard to figure out about that over at Riot. Like, decaying is a bad stat. It's very difficult to quantify. Yeah, they really do need to put AP on Shurelya's, to be honest. Or, like, double down on the speed. Like, they used to, when they were previewing it, it gave 10% movement speed. Now it only gives 5. And the damage used to be more. But I think it really doesn't need the damage. I think the damage is weird. Like, just take the damage off of it and make it like a 60-second cooldown. Is what they need to do. Kind of like, sort of what they did with, Gale Force. Just completely take the damage off. And just make it a 60-second cooldown. And then maybe, like, just give you 10% movement speed. Just say, hey, this is going to be the roaming around, make lots of plays with this item. And, you know, its stats aren't going to be as good as the other ones. No, I'm not rushing Zeke's. Zeke's I still think is not that great. How did he not take a tower shot off of that, for real? What? And they need to put 10% CDR on Forbidden Idol. I don't care if you take other stats off of it, just put the CDR on, or Ability Haste. I'm still going to be calling it CDR in like 5 years, and newer players are going to be like, what the hell is that? I don't have my shield. Just wait on my shield. Her level 3 is pretty good too, but... Okay, now we can go. As soon as that clears up. There's too many minions.
Nice.
Who exhausted? Oh, he exhausted. Okay. I didn't realize Triss had exhaust instead of heal.
Doing the right thing is boring. I'm way more fun now.
I don't think he flashed though. Twitch's expunge. Oh, do they call it something other than expunge? Contaminate? I think. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just gotta get boots earlier also. Boots are just so important. Or pink wards, that's right. Yeah, I just think that it's weird. I mean, they purposely did not want to put AP on Shurelya's because they wanted it to be something viable on, like, Leona, Nautilus, things like that. They could at least put some resistances on it, or just a hell of a lot of health. If they just want to make it really generic, just give it, like, 500 health, you know? But it's just a confused item. It's like, okay, it gives bonus damage, it gives movement speed, it also gives some health, and it randomly gives some mana regen. So it's just like Locket has a very clear identity. It's like, okay, this is for tanks, this is defensive, it's good against burst, you know? Moonstone has a pretty clear identity. I think it's hard to balance Moonstone, but its identity is clear. It's like, alright, this is for enchanters, you know? They need to give Moonstone plus healing and shielding. Like 10% at least or something. I don't know. Mandate's just kind of OP. It just does too much. But well, we gotta thin some of this out first, and then we can take a look at it. Triss is really good right now, man. I was talking about her on my most recent tier list. I guess I could do another tier list tomorrow for the new like hotfix patch that came out. Yeah, Triss is probably the most underrated ADC right now. I'm not saying that just because last game we got railed by her, but I've been saying that for a while because I've seen her in a bunch of games, and it's like that build with Hail of Blades and Hail plus Kraken is so good, and that's what a lot of like these like non-lethality people are getting, like the not Jin, not Misfortune type of people. Can she not jump back out? Okay, well, I guess at least he's losing a lot of CS. Like that's also why Kai'Sa's so good right now. She does Hail plus Kraken. It's very strong. Any champion that has some sort of like 3-hit thing. I'm surprised Vayne's not doing it. I think that's probably really good on Vayne, and people just haven't woke up to that yet. They're still sleepy.
They woke.
Yeah, need to get woke. Still feeling a little sleepy on that one, but
yeah.
Hail plus Kraken on Vayne could be really good too. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I think that's like the secret meta that not a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are still going the Omnivamp stuff. It's still like good, sort of. But Hail is so good on Triss too because you proc your bomb almost instantly. So you get the Kraken proc and then you almost have a full bomb proc.
Oh yeah.
Most good guys are just kidding themselves.
I feel like we should be up way more in CS than that. How is COG 6? Dude, he lost like 2 waves at the tower. What is going on?
An ally has been slain.
I guess he got that kill on Triss. Does Shutdown give you extra experience too?
Living the dream.
I probably could have. Well, I don't know. She's a tanky girl. I don't know if I could have killed her or not. Dude, this guy's banging. This damage. What the hell is that damage? What?
I don't apologize for doing my thing.
Damn, Iron popping off.
I'm running a 980 Ti on extreme graphics. Everyone's like, oh, it's too difficult. The hardware's too hard for CP or Cyberpunk or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think I have a 982 and it runs perfect.
I think it's the PlayStation stuff. I can't speak for that. Apparently that might be bad, but if you just run it in, I did full screen windowed. It worked fine even when I was doing full screen. It's just when I was trying, and I'm recording it. 1080p recording at the same time. Now, I couldn't record it and stream it and run it on extreme graphics at the same time with my card. Because I was going to stream it, but I just couldn't. Shit. My ult just came up.
Enemy double kill.
It's not that I completely lost my sense of hope. It's that the light inside me died a long time ago, leaving a dark, very good-looking soul.
Who got the kill? Cog got the kill. If dude would have just waited a couple of seconds, it would have been fine. I shouldn't have used my ult at the very end there. I thought I didn't even see the Kog'Maw thing, honestly, in there. I don't know why Triss didn't jump out further. She did like this little short stubby jump. I guess she was trying to kill the Leona.
Damn it. I'm not sure where Diana's at. She might be roaming bot.
But yeah, so if you run it in windowed, then that allowed me to record it because I was even doing just like I was turning the graphics down. I think I turned it down to medium, and I was recording it with like 1 billion bits or something, just like a huge amount. And oh Jesus.
Turret plating will soon fall.
Oh. I was just doing like a huge recording, but I was trying to do it in full screen. It was screwing up, and so then I changed it over to windowed mode, windowed full screen. Now I think I locked it at 30 FPS though. But I still think that looks fine. Honestly, I can't tell a difference between, or not much of a difference. It looks fine at 30 FPS. So I don't know, I could go higher than that, but that was one thing that helped a little bit was I locked it at 30 FPS.
Doing the right thing was boring.
In order to get extreme graphics. If I turned it down, I could probably, you know, go up to like 60 or something, but, you know, I'm not going to be able to get like 200, you know, FPS, but honestly, I can't tell that much of a difference, even in fast motion. Like I'm sure it could look a lot better, but
Bad just feels so good.
I'm coming bot.
the massacre.
Spicy.
The Trist massacre. Well, I don't know, man. Triss is really strong right now, in general. And this Triss is playing pretty well. She went a little gung-ho in that one fight, but, I mean, Quinn falls off, too. You're not wrong. I think Pantheon... Hecarim, I think, is a little bit more useful later on, but you're right, Pantheon's just kind of worthless if he's not ahead, but we do have Azir, we do have Trist, and we do have Rakan, all of which scale pretty well.
I do what I want. No stone.
Well, I'm running 30 FPS. I don't have to run 30 FPS. I'm running extreme graphics on, like, basically something where I have the minimum requirements, very close to the minimum. Like 2 generations back graphics card. But yeah, I mean, if I ran it on medium or something, I'm sure I could go much higher. I was gonna get a new graphics card for Black Friday, but they're all sold out of the new 3000 series on the Nvidia cards, which is
How
what
much
I
is
want.
that going
so.
for?
The Nvidia card?
Yeah.
I think a 3060, which is like the lowest version of it, which is still really good, I believe, is like $500.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Might
I
even
thought
be
they were going
400.
like for 1500.
No. That's what was so revolutionary about these, is people were saying that they were so cheap for their value, because apparently the previous generation, you know, it was like $1,200 for something that was like weaker, and still is $1,200 for something that's weaker than the 3000. So the 3000's been praised not only for being powerful, but for being like relatively affordable for that power. So it might even be $400 or $500. I think the high end one, like the 3090, like the highest end one, is $700 or $800.
Goon Squad.
That's right. What is it? How does it go? 30, 70, 80, 90? I never get that past the white. Well, I can just tell her it's a business expense.
That's right. There you go.
I mean, she just dropped $1,000 to do these built-ins, so I can pay $700 for a graphics card. Like, we never go out to eat or, you know, hardly do anything expensive.
Take the Triss, save the world. Take the Triss, save the world.
That's right. I was looking for Cog, but he's upstairs.
I'm probably gonna. I'm at the Flash.
But yeah, so I just ran it on 30 FPS and it still looks good.
I'm just staying with Triss. Stay with Triss, save
right.
the world. I get a Flash for him.
I probably didn't need to ignite that. That is one thing I need to work on a little bit, is I think sometimes I overkill it on some of these kills, using my ult or ignites when I don't need to. But
Oh man, I really want to get Death Cap, but I need to get my Mythic. It's so much money.
mm-hmm.
I can only imagine how much Triss has though. Jeez.
Say it's for a tax write-off. I don't write the channel. I don't know, I might consider it this year, but it's really hard to write off stuff for a business if it's shared space. Like, I would have to, if I went in the basement and we don't use it for anything else other than me streaming, and it would have to be a computer that's like basically only used for streaming, if they audit me. I mean, if they don't audit me, which they probably won't, I'm not big enough, but basically if you're gonna write something off as a, like, your own business and a personal business expense, it has to be, you know, anything that you write off has to be like exclusively used for your business. So like, I couldn't, you can write off like the real estate, like I could write off the square footage and like charge myself rent or something for downstairs. I could write off stuff for the computer. Traditionally, I haven't even really thought about it, just because we would just take the standard deduction. Damn it. Missed my W on that. We just take the standard deduction, but this year, we might be itemizing. But it just didn't make any sense, because when Trump extended the standard deduction, it's just like something nutty. Like, it's so hard to get more than the standard deduction. It was like $25,000 for a married couple. I mean, you'd have to be spending like, unless you have some extreme like student debt or hospital bills or something, like you'd have to be spending like $100,000 or something to be able to get that kind of deduction. Oh, okay, you don't do your own tax. Oh, I definitely do not know about UK tax code, but I always do my own taxes. It's like, I'm not gonna pay for that. It's really not that hard, honestly, with like software. I think we use Tax Act, or you could use like TurboTax or something. It's not really that difficult most of the time to figure it out. For most people in most situations, like it has a prompt for everything. It's like, hey, did you own this? Did you own that? Did you sell this? Did you sell that? You know, it's pretty much got you covered on almost everything, except for like maybe extremely weird things. But it can take a little while depending on your situation, and like, you know, it's taken me like 8 hours before for doing that. But I think a lot of that is if I'm like trading like stocks or whatever. It's like the way that you have to manually put that in was pretty annoying because my broker didn't have one of those like automatically upload it to the software type of thing. And it's just because options are weird too, which is what I usually trade, that I have to enter those in manually. So if I've done a lot of trading in the year, then that takes up like 90% of the time. But if you don't do anything really weird like options trading, then you know, you can probably get it done in like an hour or two. Damn, really? Okay, here we go. The bait. We're gonna get baited, I think. We'll just take a flash, that's fine.
Oh, Diana was around here.
We don't get any returns. You pay tax, that's it. Well, I pay tax too. Basically, you're not gonna get a refund most of the time, unless you just work your job and that's it. Like if you have any investments or anything, it's difficult. So like basically how it works in America is you pay the tax up front. Most of the time they withhold a certain amount depending on your job. So they basically tax you up front on it, and then if through deductions or other things you actually didn't have to pay that much, then they give you back the money. So that's how people get money on their returns, is they work in a restaurant or something and, you know, they paid in 25% of their income, and by the end of the year they were only supposed to be taxed at 10%. Then the government's like, oops, we taxed you too much, and then they give you some money back. That's how people get money back off of it most of the time. It's really difficult to flat out get paid by the government. If you are like extremely poor and you have kids or something like that, then the government will pay you some. But yeah, it's very similar. I mean, obviously the United States is founded on a lot of British governmental practices, so we're basically like your little brother. But yeah, when people are talking about getting fat tax returns and getting paid or whatever, it's like, well, that's because they stole your money basically for 12 months and just handed it back to you. The government borrowed your money basically for 12 months and gave it back. A lot of my stuff, historically, they don't withhold very much though, which is why I have to pay a lot at the end. It's because for the channel, I don't have to like withhold. Technically, I'm supposed to, but it's such a small penalty. It's like a $5 penalty or something to not withhold it, that I'm just like, I'm not gonna withhold it. I'd rather invest the money in something else. Not that it's a lot of money to begin with, but I'd rather do something else with my money than lend it to the government for no interest for a year. But yeah, and then historically, they don't withhold at the university either, because I'm an adjunct, not a full-time faculty. So I basically have almost nothing withheld most of the time. And then I have to pay a big amount at the end. Also, Social Security and Medicare in the United States, usually you pay 7.5% and your employer pays 7.5% of your income for that. But if you are self-employed, which is basically what I am for the channel, then I have to pay the full 15% on that, which sucks. But Because I'm never going to see any of that Social Security. It's going to be gone by the time I'm 65. Because it doesn't go into, like, a personal account for you or anything as you get older. You're paying for old people right now. So young people pay for old people, and it keeps going that way. But the U.S. just never tries to fix that system, and it's going to go broke. Okay. I don't know. It just depends. If you like getting the big check at the end, my thing is like my thought is you could be doing something else with that money for a year. Even if you just put it in like an S&P 500 spider or whatever, right? You can just get an ETF and just put it in that. You know, you can buy a share of the S&P 500, I think, for like $300 right now in the ETF. So if you're getting, even if you don't make a ton of money, right? Like, let's say that you just get 6 shares of that, let's just say around $2,000 that you could have withheld. You know, if the S&P 500 goes up 5% in a year, which this year it was up 36% since March, which is nuts. But in most years, like 5 to 10%, even if it's only up 5%, and you just put that $2,000 that would have been withheld, if you just put it in a spider ETF, you would make $100. Which is not a lot, but it's better than nothing, you know, over the course of a year. Like, why not, you know? So that's the way that I see it. It's like, you don't have to be a big baller millionaire to, like, make a little bit of money off of, you know, putting some money in stocks. And you can get it anytime. It's not like a retirement account where you can't touch it till you're 65. You get it the next day if you want. If you just go to, like, E-Trade or whatever, Robinhood, that all the kids are using these days. All the kids and their damn investing instruments. I don't think that's something old people usually say. These damn kids, they're day trading. But yeah, I mean, you could still just make a little bit. You would waste it? I mean, well, I guess. But that's why I always go, like, almost no withholding if I can help it, even if I get a big check at the end, just because I'd rather put it in something. $100 is better than no bucks. But we always pay, like I said, just because I don't withhold anything most of the time. But yeah, that standard deduction boost was crazy. I don't know if that's going away, though. I don't remember if Echo's gone. Okay, we'll get rid of Graves. I don't know if Biden can executive order and get rid of that, or if it's just going to expire. Trump, it was part of Trump's, like, financial thing that he did in 2017, where he, like, lowered the corporate tax rate from 37% down to 20%, which is ridiculous. And then he like doubled the standard deduction. If you don't know, like, a standard deduction is basically you get that no matter what. That's why it's standard. So you don't have to itemize. It doesn't matter what you do. You can get a standard deduction. But if you want, you can try to itemize instead. If you itemize, you can't get the standard. So basically what that means is you have to spend more than $25,000 in qualified expenses in order to get that standard deduction. And qualified expenses would be like medical bills to some extent, interest on mortgage, interest on student loans, and there's just like a few other places where you could like spend money, travel expenses for your job. But I mean, the big ones are usually medical bills that you pay out of pocket that your insurance doesn't cover, student loan, and mortgage. Those are the 3 big ones. But there are other ones too. There's a lot of itemized things. But if that number doesn't go past $25,000, if you're married, filing jointly, then you just take the standard. So unless you are just like drowning in student debt, you just got blasted with medical bills, or you just have a huge baller house. Let's do Recon again. It's going to be difficult to get over that. Though, I mean, a lot of people are, some of those, a lot of people are probably drowning in student debt and blasted by medical bills because hashtag America, but oh, well, yeah, I mean, if it takes you a while to pay it off, yeah, then you have to pay them interest on it, which is not good. Here at the Strategy Professor, we talk tax advice while playing League. What are we against? Rel Ezreal. Holy crap, dude. How do we win this lane? we're going to lose to it. I know we are. This is almost literally the worst lane you could draw up right now in the meta.
I believe.
Oh, you can still deduct 2,500 while still being standard? Okay, well maybe that's different. I don't know. I'm lucky enough where I didn't have student loans. I got a bunch of worthless degrees, like financially, but at least I didn't have to pay for them. I don't think they were worthless. I had a good time. I think I learned a lot. I think I became a much more intelligent, cultural, whatever you want to say, kind of person. I think it was huge in shaping me as a person to get those degrees. Which
I agree.
I think
had my degree too.
Nice. What was your degree in?
Criminal justice. I was gonna be a cop in Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so close to being it, but it just they skipped our class, and I just didn't feel like waiting to go to the academy. So I wasn't trying to pay to go to the academy. I wanted them to send me to the academy. So I was trying to get on and then have them send.
I got you.
I literally went through all the tests, passed everything. I just wasn't waiting around.
I'm sure your wife's probably okay with you not not doing that.
Her and pretty much everybody I know is.
Yeah.
Especially.
I mean, I think you would have been a really good police officer, but yeah, I don't know. We definitely need people doing what they're doing, but especially this day and age, man, it's so dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I mean, I'm happy now, but at first I kind of like always wanted to do it, but
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I could talk to anybody, but that's why I feel like I would have been.
Yeah, I think you would have been good. I think you could have definitely.
But it's all good. I'm happy where I'm at.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think you could have been good at it, but I could definitely understand why, why family, friends, all those people were.
It's weird, man. My grandma was like, so she did not want me to do it. Period. She was like text me.
Yeah, man, because you could get shot. Like it's not likely. I don't think a lot of times, but you could, depending on what you're doing, I guess. But
right. It was fun, man. I got qualified with the Monroe Police Station, and I shot some guy. It was fun.
Nice.
Got to meet a few people, but
okay, someone says actual thoughts on wiping student debt or government buying it and removing interest at least.
I would love it just because I still have student debt.
Yeah. Or no interest loans come out of your pay. I don't know. I think retroactive is probably a bad idea, but if they made it better moving forward,
So the people that pay their student loans off, when this goes into effect, they just get a pat on the back, say good job, you paid your student loans off, but now everyone else is student loan free.
Yeah, basically. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. I think it should. I don't know. The government would have to pay a lot more, basically, in order for people to go to college. But the thing is, like, a lot of people don't need to go to college. Like, I think a lot of students would be better off just going to a trade school or, something else, because I don't know. It's difficult to say. Like, it's easy to come out and just say, like, hey, like, just forgive all student loan, but that's like trillions of dollars, and so many banks would, like, just eat that cost. And it sounds like, oh, just make them eat that money. But remember last time when the banks ate the mortgage stuff, what happened in 2008? It's like, oh, the banks can just eat the cost on these things. Just fresh start.
Fresh start. Yeah, just a fresh start.
I do think there's a lot of mismanagement. Like, they spend so much money on, like, marketing and just groundskeeping and facilities and fancy trees and fancy brick. Like, the university spends so much money on just random nonsense. And a lot of it's because they get all this money from loans and they keep jacking up the prices. So, I don't know. I do think the system is pretty messed up, but I'm not 100% sure that screwing over the banks is the way to go. I mean, I know everyone thinks of banks as nameless, faceless, like, villains, but they employ a lot of people, and they give out a lot of money that helps businesses, that helps individuals. Like, so if the banks go under or they have a huge problem, it's has massive ripple effects, aka 2008, on a lot of stuff. So it's very difficult to say. Well, it was complicated. That was partially the banks buying it up. It was partially greedy, like loan shark people. It was the CDO people. So I'm not saying the banks didn't deserve to take a huge hit in 2008. I think they definitely did. But I mean, I don't know. I just think it's really bad from a legal like point of view, and especially from the bank.
Do you guys rotate to that? Okay, you're coming. Oh, okay, we can fight. Maybe.
I'm scared to jump over that.
What does Rel do? I don't know what Rel does.
Basically nothing.
Okay. I'm not played against this champion. I don't think it wants.
Yeah. But just saying like, hey, we have a contract, we have a deal, and then all of a sudden saying, wait a minute, we don't. You know, as far as like the legal system's concerned. I think that could, like, banks may not just give out other loans if you can change the rules like that. So, I don't know. Maybe making it something where the government could, if the government agreed to pay it, if the government agreed to pay like half or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Or maybe take the interest off, or like lower the interest or something like that. Maybe, I don't know.
Interest, hasn't the interest on loans been like wiped away for COVID reasons?
Not completely. It's temporarily wiped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where people,
well, I figured. I thought it was like to the end of this year or something. That's
yeah,
what
I think
maybe
that's
I'm
what
wrong.
it is. I think it is something like that. Yeah.
Because I have paid on my student loans since this whole thing started and have not stopped. So I've just been without paying any interest, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think they said that you didn't have to pay on it during COVID. However, they were unclear about whether or not that affects your credit, and I've heard some things saying that it will affect your credit if you don't pay on student loans and rent and mortgage forgiveness. They've done that too, where you can't get evicted for not paying your rent or your mortgage during this whole thing. But I believe it still hits your credit. Okay, Warwick's top. What can we do with that?
Dragon?
Yeah, Kha'Zix's bot side.
Or top side, yeah.
Yeah, top side rather. So I don't know. I know that my university is starting to, for households that make less than $50,000, college is free. They were going to start that in 2021. I don't know if they're still going to start that, but basically there needs to be a lot more funding for education if they want to do that stuff. But I think a lot of it too is like, I mean, how much do we want? How much do students really need to go to college? I mean, the general education thing, that is a real thing because some students just don't know what they want. A lot of students don't, and they don't know like the value of a certain kind of education. Because I have people come into my class, students all the time, you know, like these bros or, you know, otherwise kind of disengaged students who really didn't like English or didn't think it was that useful, and then they take my class and they're just like, wow, that was actually really helpful, you know? And they thought that English was worthless. But then they realize, oh, actually persuading people and learning how to communicate effectively is good. I just never thought of it that way before. So there's something to be said for that too. Okay, we got her flash too, nice. Huh, she made a mistake. She thought Ezreal was gonna do something. Joke's on her, he can't.
Oh, I love it.
She like charged in. She's like, here we go! It's like, wait a minute, I'm playing a bad champ, and my lane partner's playing a bad champ.
Oh, what? I thought I went. Well, hopefully no one saw that.
Alright, let's back up. Kha'Zix doesn't want to... I mean, can we force this? Yeah. Warwick's scared. I don't know. We lost a lot of time. Kha'Zix wanted to get red first. Okay, you got middle, though. Warwick's on the right side, I think. Okay, you
What
should be
side?
good. Yeah, there he
Okay.
is. He's coming for you.
Oh my gosh.
Here.
Am I gonna die here?
Come over here. Come
Oh
over here.
my
Come over
gosh.
here. Come over here.
I had to flash that.
Okay.
Because if he ults, I just die, I think.
Bless the 80s. That's right, Tony. Well, mine was free too, but that's because I was profoundly poor and I made good grades. They're like, "What's your family income?" I was like, 0. They're like, "Really?" And they audited me, and I was like, "Yes, really." That was basically it.
Dude, I had to study my ass off to get through college.
There were some things that I had to, but it was just like, yeah. I was like, yeah, mom hasn't been employed for 3 years. Don't know who dad is. Live in grandma's house. You can't check grandma's income. Should count as part of the household. She didn't make a
I
ton
was
of
a
money.
big
But
dum-dum,
she had a
but
house.
I was able to get through it.
I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. You're pretty smart.
Anyone have chocolate? I'm craving
Oh, I appreciate it, man.
But you made it.
Yeah, it took me 5 years to graduate, but that was like taking no summer classes or anything, which I think you have to take some graduating for.
Yeah, with criminal justice, you might have to do that. But
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So I ended up getting it, getting mine for free. And then if you go to grad school for English, and a lot of the other humanities, it is also free. Free. You have to be a grad student too, but they do pay you to be a grad student. I actually got paid more to be a grad student than I do to be an adjunct with the degree, which is pretty funny. But yeah, so for some of that stuff, it can be good. For as much as people rag on Tennessee about education and poor education and stuff, they actually have pretty decent setup for colleges. Like, the state university is actually pretty good. I think it's good. Like, the state university system, and it's not very expensive. And there's, like, the lottery scholarship and some other things that help you out as far as funding goes. I actually got paid my last couple of years to go there. I think my last year I was there, I think I got a check for like $8,000 or something to go there, which was nice. And I got to just look after my grandma's house, which was cool, so I didn't have to pay like rent anywhere, because she was taking care of my great aunts who lived in North Carolina, and so I was just keeper of the house. Grandma would come home like maybe once every month or two, and other than that, I just pretty much got a free house, as long as it didn't burn down. The yard wasn't a jungle, stuff like that. But that's an unusual story. That's not how most people experience college. So, Pranov asks, any financial advice for college? Get as few loans as you can, and try to, have roommates if you can, and just get like inexpensive stuff. If you can live at home for your first year, I don't know how, like, at the university I was at undergrad, they would not let you had to live on campus your first year unless you were living with your parents or something like that. There might have been some other ways you could get around it, but I would try to do that. I would try to not live on campus if you can, because if you live on campus, you're going to have to pay for the dorm, and then they're going to make you pay for, like, food. How did we lose that? What is going on?
I'm coming down.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and make a play. Oh, they are all so low.
Yeah. Because they're going to make you get a meal plan a lot of times. You're going to have to pay for the dorms. And frankly, it just, like, I don't know. I didn't have to live in the dorms. My friends did. They just kind of suck, man. I don't know. Like, it is cool getting to hang out with other college students, but, like, you can do that at your, like, if you can get an apartment or something instead and just split it with, like, 3 or 4 other people, get a reasonably priced apartment, I think that's a way, way better deal. Because you can't cook either. So you have to always eat out when you're in the dorm. Most dorms. You might have a kitchen in the dorm, but it's a lot harder to cook. And that's how people put on that freshman 15, is drinking and eating McDonald's all the time. Stuff like
Good old
that.
freshman 15.
So that's what I would say. If possible, try to get an apartment or something instead of the dorms. You know, you could maybe say you're living with your parents and then go live with your friends in an apartment or whatever. You also often don't have a lot of say in who your roommates are. Sometimes you do, but you may not know who your suite mates are, and you may not know what your dorm is. So, like, I had friends that were buddies that lived in a dorm, and they got to pick their partner for the dorm, but they didn't get to pick their suite mates. And so their suite mates are these, like, frat bros that would come in at 3 or 4 in the morning, like, yelling and drunk and stuff all the time. And they survived it, but it was just an annoyance for a while there, and it was hard to have any privacy. Like, they both had girlfriends and stuff, and they're just sharing this small little room, and it's like, okay, you know, whatever, Jenny's coming over. It wasn't a name or whatever. Jenny's coming over at 8, so go figure out something to do, you know, for a couple of hours or something like that, or you put the sock on the door or that type of thing. It was just kind of... So it's not like it's terrible. It's just like if you can get an apartment, it's better financially, and I think a lot of times there's all sorts of just lifestyle perks that are better. If you can go the apartment route instead. I don't know. Other universities might let you just do an apartment immediately, but I think they make all the freshmen do it just so they can, like, subsidize the food, basically. Make people get the meal plans, make you use them.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
Okay, nice. Other things, yeah, see it. Yeah, just get as few of loans as possible, or if you can, get like really cheap interest rate loans. But try not to spend that loan money on anything but education. If you can get a job, also that's helpful. Depending on your major, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. The jobs are actually pretty, like, it's a pretty fun way to meet people, depending on your job. I think, like, working in a restaurant is great if you're gonna get a job, because the hours are very flexible. At least the restaurant I worked at, and a lot of restaurants are like that, so they can work around your schedule, right? So if you have some really hard engineering classes or something, you know, on Tuesday, Thursday, then you could maybe, like, not work on those days.
Coming down.
Okay, I'm, like, critically
I'm
injured
gonna
here.
get him here. Hold on, hold on. Oh yeah.
Oof, almost got him. So yeah, restaurant jobs, and it's pretty good per hour money as well. And, you know, around finals and stuff like that, you might be able to get off for your final days and things like that. If you got a
Here,
final
stay here.
on...
I got turret, I got turret.
Okay.
Just help me push this up and we can just come to me. Oh my gosh. We're not thinking the same. Oh, I might be dead here. Yeah. Damn. Well, my tower might kill Rel if you can get...
Damn. But yeah, restaurants are good. Very flexible schedule. Good per money or per hour money. Usually you meet a lot of other college students. It doesn't start until like nighttime. Most of the time, like 5:30 or 6. So you can have your day classes and then work at night. So I think restaurants one of the best. Okay, thanks, Pranav. Yeah, you want as low of interest as you could, like, as low as you can go on the loans. So I would say also try to do an in-state school. I don't know what state you're in or like what's going on with that, but try to get a cheap school that's really effective. There's a lot of the private schools, honestly, they're not worth it. Like, there's a school near me. I have taught some classes there. They're okay, so I'm not trying to hate. I'm not saying where it is. But there's also a state school that I work at that's near me. The state school is like a third of the price, and it's way better. Way, way better. Like, not even close. Have way better facilities. Like, they have a huge library. Many more research opportunities, internships, connections everywhere. Just the private school is You know, bless their heart, they're trying, but it's just, I don't know what you're paying for when you're going there. Because the state school is like $12,000 or something a year, and then the private school is like $30,000. And I think a lot of private schools are like that. They're just very expensive. And you might think initially, oh, well, more money is like higher quality. It's not the case in a lot of circumstances. I had a girl that that I knew from middle school. I had lunch with her. We hadn't talked in a long time. We had some mutual friends and stuff. But she was going to Harvard at the time, and she went to this state school where I was going as undergrad. And I mean, she was being nice to some extent, but she was saying she was surprised there are actually a lot of opportunities there. She had other friends that went there, and she kind of walked around and looked at some of the facilities and things, because she was from, you know, the town where I went to undergrad, and she said it was actually pretty good, that you could actually get quite a good education for that. And that was coming from someone who went to Harvard. So now, once again, part of that's being nice. Harvard's obviously better than most places, but if it's not something that's like super Ivy League, I wouldn't pay for it. Yeah. So unless you're doing something where it really matters that you go to a certain place to work with a certain person, you know, you want to do AI or something, and the best AI professor in the country is at that school or something like that, the state school is just going to be way better most of the time. And I would try to, the library is a big deal. You want to go to a place they call an R1. That means a Research 1 university, so it grants PhDs. Because they're just going to have way better library resources. They're going to have more grants and things like that. They're going to have better labs. You just always want to go to an R1 if you can. Because there are some private schools, like the library at that little private school that I had was so small, it used the Dewey Decimal System, which if you don't know, like, the difference in that. I actually had to look it up. It's been so long. I hadn't used the Dewey Decimal System since, like, elementary school. It's for small libraries instead of the Library of Congress classification system. But basically, they're just going to have way more stuff, research-wise. It's going to make your job a lot easier, and it's going to attract, like, bigger deal professors, too, because they actually have library resources, so... So I think as far as value, the state schools are very undervalued a lot of times. And frankly, most jobs aren't going to give a crap where you got your degree unless it is something like Ivy League. They just like, oh, you got a degree? You know, you have higher than a 1.0 GPA or something? Okay, let's talk. And then if you interview well, you'll probably get the job. I've had several friends that have gone to this state school that are, you know, doctors and surgeons and, you know, all that kind of stuff now. Even though they went to a state school where at the time when we went, it was $5,000 a year. Now it's doubled. It's like 11 or 12 in the state, but still. And they're doctors, you know, balling. So at the end of the day, would not have mattered that much if they went somewhere that was 10 times as much. I mean, maybe they could work at a more prestigious hospital, but whatever. If you're a surgeon and you're making $300,000 a year and, you know, you win. That's a win. So... If a school can afford to have a large library, then they're funding everything else as well. Libraries tend to be last on the funding list. Sort of. That you're right about that, where they're going to have other things probably too, but libraries are actually pretty important, or at least access to research. Like, they're going to have good labs. They're going to attract higher quality people, like professors that are going to be in the business. They're going to be able to hook you up with internships. You know, they're going to be able to get you grants for things. They're going to, you know a lot of the other big professors in the field and write you good recommendation letters if you want to go to grad school. So, yeah, I mean, it kind of does come with a lot of stuff. Exactly, that's good. Yeah, and really, like, those school average things are really a little off, honestly. Like, the great schools and stuff like that, or whatever they're called, the Newsweek stuff. So much of it just depends on who goes there, who you work with, and, like, what kind of opportunities that opens for you. Like, that's the most important thing. Oh my god, I got fake. Damn, his Q really faked me out there. Because like my school is not rated that well, the one that I teach at, but I'll tell you firsthand, there's a lot of opportunities, and it is good. It just depends on where you go. So for example, like my school has a pretty good agriculture campus, and it has a pretty good business campus. I guess they have a unique thing too. If you're into criminal justice or whatever, like they have a place, and some of my students talked about this, called the Body Farm, which is pretty nice. Where they there's a bunch of people from like local morgues and just things like that that will donate. And they get permissions and all that stuff. Donate different people that have died, and they put the bodies in like different conditions and things like that. And they have like a CSI, you know, type of program where they come out and investigate and try to figure out, you know, looking at different stages of decomposition and stuff like that. How long has this person been dead? How did they die? You know, these types of things. So that's pretty advanced and pretty cool, and students have said that not a lot of other places have that. So you just got to look at unique opportunities like that rather than just like total just like what's the total ranking. You want to see like, okay, it's ranked this, but who am I actually going to be working with? Like which professors am I going to get along with them? Are they going to open up some good doors for me? You know, what's the job placement and stuff. And I would say also, like, you can ask them too. Like, you know, if you're looking between a couple of different schools, just email. Like, just think of someone you might be wanting to work with. You know, look at their department or whatever, and just say, hey, this person does robotics, or they do body farm stuff, or whatever. That looks pretty cool. And just email them and just say, hey, I'm a prospective student. I'm really interested in this. You know, ideally, you could just ask them, hey, do you have like 10 minutes or something? Could I just have a Zoom conference with you and just talk with you through some of my ideas or something? I mean, you can ask them via email, but you might be able to get a conference, or just like where you can just talk to them and just say, hey, what's it like doing this? What's it like in this field? Would I enjoy it? I mean, all they can say is no if you ask them. I actually made that an assignment for my students in freshman English, is they had to think about where they might want to go or what they might want to do after they graduate, and research a specific institution, and then interview someone from that institution. And that was part of it. And I had one girl that she wants to be like a plastic surgeon, and she specifically wants to work on burn victims. And she just cold called this, like one of the #1 plastic surgeons for burn victims in the country in Boston. And it took her a little while. It took her like a week or two to finally get him, but she got an interview with him. And he was really happy to talk with her. He was very excited. There was someone else that was really, you know, interested in the field and things like that. And, she got an interview with him, and then apparently the hospital was gonna like feature her in her interview or whatever, in some blurb about the hospital. And then he said he'd hook her up if she ever wanted an internship there, or you know, needed a letter of recommendation. So it just opens all kinds of doors just to contact people and ask. So that would be one thing I would ask, or that I would do if you can, is just think about a department you might want to be interested in and just try to talk to someone there. My undergrad university, they had a thing that was like during freshman orientation where you could go out and talk with a department head or someone from these different departments you were interested in. I was one of the only students that did that. A lot of students just took longer to go to lunch or something, you know. But I got to go out there and I talked with the psych person, because I had wanted to do psych when I first came in. I wanted to do psych, but then I talked with the psych guy and I was just like, I don't know if I'm feeling it as much. I went to the religious studies department, but they didn't have anybody because they said I was the only person that went to that in like ever. In the 10 years they'd been doing it, no one had gone to scout out religious studies. So they didn't have anything for me. But then I went to the philosophy department, and that guy was really cool. And I was like, you know what? I'm digging this. I went to sociology too, and I was like, this is okay. So I just checked out 4 different departments during the orientation. And that was helpful. Yeah, I mean, the Ivy League thing, a lot of it is brand recognition. They do have very good resources, and you're right, a lot of it is branding. But, like, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to pay an exorbitantly high amount for something, then it needs to be on brand. Like this, you know, private college near me is not a large brand. I'll put it that way. And I think there are a lot of private schools out there that aren't, like, really big brands. But at the end of the day, these state schools and stuff, they will, you know, you'd be surprised. They have a lot of connections. Take out a huge loan. I mean, I really don't. It's difficult, I think. I personally would not do it. I would just do a state. It depends on your industry and what you're doing.
You go to Malphite.
Yeah. I'm like stuck in this wall. Dad, it's not that funny.
Oh my god, the damage.
Dude, I like glitched out in this wall where he couldn't touch me.
That's awesome.
Check that replay.
Yeah, you guys should get Baron and then go get Soul.
But I mean, like I said, if you're doing something where it's Silicon Valley and you really, really need to like hook up with those California schools, you know, or I don't know if it's Harvard, anything maybe. But yeah, I don't think a lot of it is worth it. I mean, it just depends. Like I had a friend who she had a full ride. She wanted to do music journalism, and she had a full ride to my undergrad school because both her parents were professors there. But she also went to Northwestern instead, where it was no scholarship, $40,000 a year for that. So she paid $200, and it was a 5-year program. So she paid $200,000 for something that she could have had for free. And it's like, yes, she did end up getting like a decent job out of that, but I always just wonder, I'm like, could she not have gotten a similar job probably if she just networked and had like, I don't know if it was worth it to go all out on her, but we use everything on her. But whatever, I guess. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe she never would have gotten a job with the undergrad school, but I find that I'm skeptical about that. So, I don't know. It's hard to say what a degree's worth because you just don't know how many doors are going to be open and how they're going to be open. I would say just so much of it depends on the person that you work with. It's all about those personal relationships in college with the professors, not, I guess, in a sexual way. I mean, I guess sometimes it could be that too, but just like taught in a professional way, though. Oh, God. We always have to do training every year, too. It's so funny. Part of the training is always just like, do not have sex with your students. Like, that's always part of the training. Like, just don't do it. They never say it, like, quite that bluntly. I've had one person did. But just on that side note. Like, if you may not have, I think they call it an amorous relationship with someone who is your subordinate. But you have direct control over them in some way. In a professional way. Yeah, state school, I mean, I would say in general, state schools are just better, man. I mean, unless, like I said, unless there's a very specific reason that you're going to that private school, you really want to work with that professor, or it's like, you know, the #1 school in your field or something, but.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
I definitely right, Anthony, 100%. I think that's why I think they, and a lot of the high schools around here, I've been scouting them out because I was trying to find like the best schools. Even though my daughter's not going to be in high school for, a while. I guess it's not as long as it seems, 10, 11 years at this point, but and there is a lot more emphasis on technical schools and stuff like that, like practical types of educational stuff. Oh god, that Ezreal hit though. Well, Rel's kind of tanky sometimes, I guess. She's got that going for her. But yeah, there's a lot more like, hey, if like you want to do coding or something in high school, or if you want to do plumbing, or if you want to do mechanic stuff, like there's a lot more emphasis now than there used to be. But it still is kind of a, I don't know. Back when I was in school, it was like if you weren't going to college, it was considered like, a stigma just about. It's like, oh, you're not going to college. But realistically, it's like, who cares at the end of the day? I mean, you can not go to college and you can still read Shakespeare if you want to. You can still read Plato. Like, you can still, if you want, do all of that stuff. Especially now with YouTube, like there are so many quality videos about, educational or like intellectual things. You don't have to go to college to get that if you want that. Now, and a lot of people don't even go to college for that type of stuff anyways. It's just like, just to get a degree so they can do sales or something, So I think college is good. It can be good for opening doors, making connections, and you do learn stuff in there. It is really good. But there are a lot of students, I mean, not a lot, but there's definitely a fair amount of students where I'm just like, why are you here, man? Like, I love having you in the class, but you don't want to be here. You seem like your mind is elsewhere. I mean, there was one guy that I had last year, I guess, rather, who was running like a pretty good business with his brother or something. I don't remember. They're like setting up cell phone towers or something like that. And he was just like, hey, I'm going to miss, Thursday this week. I got a job down in Georgia with my brother setting this stuff up. I was like, okay. So he already had like what sounded like a pretty lucrative job. I was talking with him about it on Zoom, and I'm just like, why? I mean, I was like, I love having you in class, like I said, but why don't you just do this job? And he's like, well, my parents really wanted me to go to college, so I'm doing it. And I was just like, but it's clearly like he didn't want to, be there. I'm not sure about 529s. I think they should, the funding, I think it should be for any accredited university. But I don't know, check with someone who knows more about that than me. But yeah, I mean, some students, I think it can be really helpful to just like go out and work for a little while too, and then if you want to come back, go back. But I know there are some scholarships and loans and things like that you can't get unless you go straight through. Like I know the lottery scholarship in my state, you have to go straight from high school. You can't take a year off. But that's another thing that's really hard. That would be my advice for you, Pranav, and for a lot of students, it's just like, don't underestimate how difficult it is to manage your time in college, because when you're first coming in, you've got all these classes, and then you've just got all this other stuff, like laundry, groceries. You've got all of these like potentially, social pressures for stuff. Hey, let's go hang out. Like, you could have friends that want to go out every night, or different groups of friends that go out on different nights, or, cute girls that want you to go out every night, or stay out till 5 a.m. when you've got a test at 8 a.m. or something like that. Like, there's going to be all these temptations and all these pressures to, get engaged in the social stuff. And, and I guess it's not even just like going out and partying, but if you try to have a job and you're taking 5 classes and, you have to do all this extra stuff on the side, and you're doing some kind of intramural volleyball or soccer, or you're part of some other group or club, it's very easy to kind of overload yourself. So, try to budget that time. And it's hard to know how to do that if you haven't been there before, but there's so many students that just try to do too much, or they just get in over their head the first semester or two. It might be a little late in the game now if you're like a senior. I don't know if you're a senior or not, but take as many AP classes as you possibly can and try to pass them, because that helps out so much. Because I came in with like 17 hours of credit. I had 8 hours of calculus, 6 of Spanish, and like 3 from English. And it helped out a ton, because then I had several semesters where I could just take 12 hours, and that let me work. Because I worked in a restaurant. I worked for like 32 hours a week. And then I only had to take 4 classes with that. And I got to play intramural volleyball. And I had like this, you know, friend group and this girlfriend that took up a lot of time and stuff like that. So it's like I had the social, I had the job, and I had my classes. That's right. This is the life advice macro. Hey, that's the cool thing about Strategy Professor. We can, you know, talk about a bunch of stuff here. Whatever. We'll just do reconning and let's keep winning. But yeah, having those APs and just being able to take those 12-hour semesters are really, really nice. Or whatever the minimum is at your college. At the time, for me, it was 12, which was great. I had other friends that were taking like 18 hours, and I had to take a couple of 15s. I tried to take an 18 one time, and I got pwned. It was bad. Well, it wasn't that bad. I had to basically withdraw from one of the classes, but then I did better than the other one. So I didn't do my research. Research the classes, especially when you get to older or like upper, higher end classes. Just shoot an email at the professor and just say, hey, I'm really interested in your course. Do you have a syllabus, or do you have an old syllabus, or just like a reading list or something, so I can see what's going to be going on in this class? Like, that will help you out a ton. You don't want to say something in your email like, hey, is this class hard? Because then it's going to make you look like a slacker, right? But you can just ask them for a syllabus or a reading list or something and just say you're really interested. And then you look ambitious. But what you're really asking potentially is this class going to be hard? You're just saying it in a more positive way. And then you look at it and then you can say, oh my God, this is nuts. I can't do this. And you can drop it and get another class. Because I had this religious studies 499 class, and they had us reading like 100 pages a night and stuff like that in an undergrad class, which was crazy. Because I was trying to take 18 hours and they were all things like that. And there's another one that was supposed to be like, so I ended up withdrawing from that class. And there's another one that was supposed to be Introduction to Fiction, which is what they called it. And I was like, okay, cool. We're going to be reading some short stories, you know, maybe a novel or two. It was like a novel a week. There's like 10 novels in that class or something. And I was like, hell no, I can't be doing that. I had too much going on. So, yeah, some classes you may not have the luxury of doing that. You might just have to take it. But especially for like those higher level classes where you have options, what you're going to take, like, definitely scout it out. You know, best case scenario is if you can talk with the professor on Zoom or something. But if you can just get the syllabus or just correspond with them via email, that's good too. Because a lot of how good a class is going to be and your experience in the class does come down to the professor as well. Like, I really don't like critical theory that much, honestly. It's okay, but like in English, I'm much more of a historical person than a theory person. But I had this one professor who was just amazing, and he made it so much fun. Critical theory, and I love that class. It was one of my favorite classes, even though the subject itself was not necessarily my favorite within the field of English. He made it awesome. So, and you know, you can look at review sites too, like, you know, Rate My Professor or things like that, or you can sometimes, some universities will give you the aggregate reviews of different professors and things like that. You can look at that, but sometimes it's hard to get a feel because, you know, review sites, sometimes people are just going to be haters, and, you know, on review sites, students are probably more interested in what grade they got rather than the quality of the class. But all of these things can help you out. AP also is another way to save a ton of money, because an AP test is what, like 100 or 200 bucks to like take the test and then roll for the class. I'm not sure what the going rate is these days, but it's much cheaper than, you know, the whatever $2,000 or $3,000 it would take to take that class in college. And it's that time that I mentioned before, where you can take the 12 hours and not kill yourself and still have a social life, or sleep, or work more, or just study more in your other classes. You know, however you want to use that time. The time is very, very valuable in college. So I'm definitely glad I took
bot side.
my
Oh.
ideas. Nunu is? Okay, there he is.
Yeah, he's coming this way.
Because I got a... Okay. I got like a D in Calc 2. It was the worst grade I ever got. It was really hard. I was not good at it. But I still took the AP test. I still took the AP test, even though like I don't think the teacher wanted me to take it because I was gonna like embarrass the class or something, pull the average down. But they gave a 3 at the time. If you could just get a 3, that was enough to pass and to get the 8 hours of credit. So I took it. I was like, hell no, I'm taking it. And I got my 3, baby. So I got my 8 hours credit, got a D in the class. It didn't matter.
Oh yeah. I took AP Bio and I somehow survived it.
Hell yeah. So
Helped me because I didn't have to take the science portions.
exactly, that was me too. Like I didn't have to take any math in college.
Yeah.
And then the science, I just took biology 101 and 102, which was a joke. I didn't even like look at the book for bio 102. I just went to lectures and took notes. And then I was done. That was it for math and science. So it was really nice. Then it was all humanities, which is like my zone. Anything that was like writing and critical thinking, I just like dominated it in college. Because they shared so many principles. Like if you could, you know, be a decent writer in one of those things, you're a decent writer in like pretty much all of them. At an undergrad level anyways. I mean, I guess that is sort of true to math. Like, I had a friend who was like a math whiz that was very good, and he was helping me. The thing is, I studied a lot. I studied for probably like, I did calculus homework for 3 or 4 hours a night. And I still like didn't do super well with it. But anyways, this one friend that I studied with, he like would solve these problems, and I'd be like, what? We didn't do that in class. How'd you solve that? He's like, oh, well, that's how we did it in physics. AP physics. It's the same type of thing.
Maybe I might be roaming down, or there might be on drag.
I should have flashed and then E'd faster. I think he's gonna die to Nunu. Yeah. Any resources or books? What do you mean building up assets? You mean books, or do you mean like stocks?
My cloak is woven.
I would not get your books. Don't get your books early. Wait until you go in there and you see the syllabus and just ask the professor, do I need all these books? Because sometimes you don't. Sometimes there are free versions of the books. So you can ask if the edition matters, if it's like a literature book or something, because some teachers will say, yes, like you need to cite these page numbers in this book, but other professors will be like, no, it doesn't matter. And if it doesn't matter, you might be able to get it online, or you might be able to get a free version of it. Stocks. Well, actually, I mean, I don't know any like books or advice, but I mean, I could answer questions about investments in stocks a little bit. Yeah, I would say, in general, if you don't want to study a company that much, or like you don't have time to study individual stocks, I would just invest in the just S&P 500 spider. So if you just get like a trading thing like E-Trade, or I know E-Trade's solid. I don't remember the other ones. Depends on what you want to trade, but like E-Trade allows you to do options and stuff too. I don't think they have Forex or futures. If you want to do like, I think it's like, remember the name of it, International Brokers, IB or something, you can do. I didn't like their platform too much, but you can do futures. That I really wouldn't mess with futures or Forex. I would just stick with stocks and maybe options. Holy shit, that was more stun than I was thinking was going to happen there. She's gonna W me probably. Okay, Kane should come down and clean this up, I think. This Rel's actually doing pretty well.
I'm coming down. I might be able to get Ash.
Yeah, I could have played that a little bit better. Yeah, college textbooks really are a scam. I mean, I'll be totally honest with you. I can totally teach my class without any textbook. And in my previous university, they let me do that, but now I have to assign it. But 100%, I could teach it with no textbooks. I could just make my own examples and just find other media for people to use to examine and things like that. But yeah, I would. So you can get an ETF, an exchange traded fund, if you don't know about that, which is basically like something that's like a piece of an asset. It's like a stock of a stock. But basically, you can get the Spider is the S&P 500 representative, but it's like way cheaper. So you can get like I think I'd have to look up and see, but like one S&P 500 Spider share, and that means that you basically you have a stake in every company in the S&P 500, so you own like 500 different companies. So it's like super diversified, so if one company does poorly, you're not going to get blown out. So that's the safest thing to do, is to have a highly diversified index fund, as they call it. Because there's basically a 0% chance the S&P 500 like goes bankrupt. You don't even have to have a lot of money up front to do that either, right? So like one stock in that is probably 300-ish. It's like 1/10 of what the current S&P 500 is, which I think is around like 3,300 or so. So basically, if you have like $1,000, you could get 3 shares of that. And it's not going to be like, to be honest, you're not going to make a ton of money if you don't put up a ton of money, unless you're doing something that's extremely risky. But, you know, if you have like $1,000 or whatever and you put it in there and then the stock market goes up 5%, then you make $50. So it's not bad, but I think that that's probably the safest way to do it. I like options as well. You have to have a bit more money to do the option strategy that I really like, but just basically where you can buy a you can sell a put below the strike price. So basically, like, let's say that you wanted to buy it would need to be something that'd be like a little bit cheap. Let's say like JP Morgan or something like that, bank. Say it's trading at, hold on.
Come in. Oh, I'm trying. You guys get on the Ash?
Dude, why did you run out of that though, Jen? Okay. He like
Oh,
ran away from the
what?
tower. Let's say JP Morgan's trading at like 120 or something. Oh god. Jesus. You could say something like, okay, I'll agree to buy it at 117 a share over the course of a month or something like that, but you will pay me 2% to do that. Now, it varies how much you're going to get. It depends a lot on the company. It's a more complicated financial instrument. But basically, you can agree to buy something at a lower price, and in exchange, you get paid guaranteed money for that. Don't have any mana or anything.
Oh my god, I'm gonna die here.
So you're kind of like the insurance company if you want to run it that way. So that's a different way you can do it, is to say, look, I'll buy a high quality company cheaper if you pay me a guaranteed, it's almost like a dividend in quotes for doing that. Now the trade-off with that is you're not going to get those explosive growth. So if like JP Morgan goes up, you know, 50% in a week or something, you don't see any of that. You just get that guaranteed cheap money. So that kind of strategy is a lot better if stocks are going to be like even, or if they're up or down slightly, you'll make more money. But if the stock market's just roaring up like it has this year, which I don't think it's going to be up as much next year, you wouldn't make as much money. But I just think it's safer and it takes even more risk off the table and gives you a guaranteed stream of income. But you have to be able to buy 100 shares of that stock. So if JP Morgan was 120 a share, you would have to have 12,000 bucks laying around to buy it just in case you had to. I mean, you could close out of the deal as well, or you could turn it into a spread. There are different things you can do with it, but I think the best case scenario is to try to just hold that money in reserve. But those are options. Called an option, stock option. There's a lot of different ways that you can structure your investment through options, through just normal brokers. You don't have to do anything fancy. And I think options are either they're slightly more expensive to trade than stocks, but not much. It's like every time you trade options, I think they're almost free these days. Stocks are basically free to trade on most platforms, and options might be like $1 or something to trade. But yeah, that's one of the better ones, I think, are selling options, which is basically you're making money, like guaranteed small amount of money. And one way is being the insurance company, which is selling a put. Another thing that you could do is you can do what's called a covered call, which is where you own 100 shares in something. Let's say you just flat out own 100 shares in JP Morgan. Then you could, and it was 120 a share. Let's say that you sell a call at 125. You could say something like, hey, I will agree to sell you these shares of JP Morgan for 125 bucks in a month. Guaranteed I'll sell you that, but you're going to pay me 2%. Or something like that. So then if it goes higher than 125, you have to sell it to them for 125. So you're losing out on some potential gain. But if it does not go higher than 125, if it stays at 120, or even if it goes lower,
we have to kill her.
Okay, you got. Are we getting chased? Probably. He's gonna loop around on me. Yeah. Oh, damn it, she got me too. So those are my two of the favorite ones that I like, and those are I think those are the smart, like, steady income choices. Now you can speculate, and this is why options get a bad name. Options are a way where you can put up a small amount of money and make a huge amount of profit. But I don't recommend doing that because the odds are against you. Usually if it's something where you're going to make steady, like, solid income, like, statistically, the way the options are priced, the stuff I was talking about, you're probably going to have an 80% chance of making a profit. So this is where I'm getting to on the speculative side of it. Why would someone agree to that 125? Because if it goes over 125, they make a wheelbarrow of money. So another way you could play it is if you could say something like, all right, let's say that I think the stock, JP Morgan stock, is going to go up a ton. Maybe they've got an earnings conference call. I think they're rolling out some new product or something. I think that the stock's going to go up a lot. So you could pay $12,000 and buy. You could pay $12,000. I can point you to a resource that is pretty simple that can explain this stuff with more details and stuff than I can. Options sound really complicated, but they're not once you kind of understand what's going on with them. But let's say you think it's going over 125, but you're like, you know what? I don't want to put 12,000 bucks on that to buy it at 120 a share. You could buy an option maybe for $1 an option or something like that for 125. And what that means, and each dollar means that it gets multiplied by 100. So basically, you'd put up $100 to control 100 shares of JP Morgan. If it goes over 125. So if it's anything below 125, you lose that $100 no matter what. Shit. No, I didn't make the jump. What? How did I not make that jump? You sure about that, Jen? This Nivea is just dominating everybody. Okay, so let's say if the stock goes up to 130, right? Off of that, let's say you're right, it goes up to 130. So you just paid $100, and you're gonna get paid out $500 off of that. So now you paid 100, you made 500, so your net profit's 400. So you just made a 400% profit off of that. So if you were like felt like gambling or going hard in the paint on that, if you would have put down $1,000, you would have made $4,000 off of that in a month, right? So, I mean, if you went really hard, if you put $10,000 on that, you would have made $40,000 off of that. So that's how you can get like mega rich. God, how is that egg back? Jesus, I can't move for 50 years. I should have gotten Mercury treads. So that's how you can make the big money. And that's what, there will be people who speculate on stuff like that. But that's a low probability outcome, right? So you maybe had, the options are gonna price you in at, you know, that's gonna make something like, you know, maybe a 20% chance that's gonna happen, is what the, you know, the broker is gonna think. How options get priced is kind of weird, but so that's the other side of the trade. Is you have, I recommend taking the safe side of the trade, get that guaranteed 2% income, but you'll have someone else who wants to take the, you know, more gamble side of that trade, and you know they'll pay you that in order to have that huge upside potential. Or another way you can do it is you can bet against the market, and I highly recommend not doing this because every time I've tried to bet against the market, I just get burned like hard. Of course, most of the time it's because the market's going up. But basically, like, you can buy a put, which is basically where you're guaranteed to buy something at a certain price. So let's say that, like, you think the S&P 500, let's say it's at 3,000 right now. I think it's higher than that. But if it's at 3,000 and the spider's at 300, let's say you think it's going to go down to 290. You think it's going to fall like 3%. Uh-oh. Oh, Jesus. No, he's gone. Let's say you think it's going to buy 3%. Then you could buy a put on it at 290 for $1. Right? Or something like that. I don't know if these are exact numbers on this. But let's say that it was like $1. Then you would pay $1 for that, which is $100. $1 for the option. And then if it falls down to 280, if it falls down to 280, then you would make $10 on that. So $1,000. So you would have paid $100 to make $1,000 on that. So you can actually make money if the market goes down, if you structure your options accordingly. You can even make a lot of money if the market stays exactly where it is. You can structure that. What's called an iron condor, where you lose money if it goes too far up or too far down, but then you make money if it stays in the middle. So there's a lot of different ways you can do options. It's probably the most flexible financial instrument that normal people have access to. But it can be complicated, and you can get burned on them because you get a lot of leverage. So you have to be careful, which means that you can get wiped out really quickly or make a lot of money really quickly if that's what you're into. But you can also, like I said, have very secure, safe, relatively safe income too. Like I said, where you agree to buy a high quality stock at a lower price and you get paid for doing that. So then the worst case scenario, once again, if it was like JP Morgan or something, right? If JP Morgan's at 120 and you say, I'll agree to buy it at $1 or 115, and you pay me $1 for that, then you're getting that $100 no matter what. And the worst case scenario is you buy a high quality stock at a cheaper price that you wanted to buy anyways. That's the worst thing that just happened. Is you got what you wanted at a lower price and you got paid to do it. Now, if JP Morgan goes bankrupt, that would be, that's the same risk as owning normal stocks, basically. You're just limiting your upside in exchange for having guaranteed income and some downside protection. So it's actually less risky than a normal stock. New to League, look. Oh, hey, what's up, Zero? So you're thinking about playing League, but you played Total War? I would say just be patient with League. It is a challenging game. A lot of people are very good at this game. Even people, who are in like the lower elo brackets and stuff are a lot better than a lot of people think, especially when comparing to like full-on new players. So it is really fun, but just be patient. If you need to mute the chat, you can mute the chat. Usually people in really like, as you're climbing up in levels, I think most people are pretty nice. Or if you play against bots, people are probably pretty nice while you're learning. But it is competitive, right? It is multiplayer, so you are going to have some people who get frustrated and can be, toxic at times. So, but it is a really cool game, and there are lots of friendly, cool people that play it too. It's just, sometimes the toxic people get more press. But that's my advice. And then just as you start learning it, just try to figure out some champions that you enjoy. Usually they give you 2 free champions or 10 free champions per week to try out. I would highly recommend like not buying a champ until you tried it out before. And I would start with the cheap champs if you're trying to build up your collection of champs. God, this Ash is just ruining us. And the new dude, it's... Can't go back in, I'm dead, basically, if I don't. There are a lot of champions that are very effective that are cheaper champs, too, so... Blue Cane, man, why? Why we gotta go Blue Cane, though?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh my god. Yeah, I can send you a link here to a trustworthy person that explains it pretty well. I'll have to look for a second. It's been a little while since I looked for him, but... Never played. Is League fun? I think it depends. It depends on what your definition of fun is. League is competitive. If you like competition, it's fun. But it's not fun in the sense of you're just going to log in for a couple hours and have a really happy, cheerful experience. That's not what's going to happen in League most of the time. It helps if you're playing with a friend, but I mean it's just competitive. If you like But it is very exciting when you level up. It feels like you definitely earned it. You know, when you go from silver to gold, it's like, man, you really work towards this goal, and it's great, and it feels good, and you're getting better. It's much more, it's a lot closer to a sport than a video game, honestly. I think that's the best way to approach it, like, mentally. It's like, is it going to be fun for you if you're trying to play it, and if you're trying to learn how to play basketball, and you just go to the YMCA, it's going to be a little bit different, and you just play pickup games with people. That's probably going to be a little bit better. It's still going to be really competitive, probably. But at least you're meeting people face to face. The anonymity of the online can make it a bit more toxic than something like that. But it's going to be something similar to that, where you're just playing with random people. And, you know, if you just get trashed every game, if you lose every game and you feel like you're letting your team down and stuff like that, maybe that's not going to feel fun, you know, sometimes, right? But then you have like that game-winning shot sometimes, or you just go on a nice streak where you're winning. You know, that can feel really good. So
I think that's gonna be it for me.
all right, man. Well, good efforts. I think we at least went 50-50 tonight, didn't we? Or
Yeah,
maybe,
I think we might be.
might even be up one. I don't remember. 3-2 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, man. Well,
Okay,
good
well, take
games.
care.
See ya.
You too. Yeah.
So yes, I enjoy it because I like the competition. It also changes a lot, which I really like as someone who's very analytical and, you know, enjoys trying to solve the meta puzzle and things like that. It gets updated every couple of weeks, and they're like adding new champions and shaking up. So it just feels fresh, right? Whereas back in the day with StarCraft, and I love StarCraft. I played a lot of StarCraft, but you would go years without a patch. You know, I'd be playing the same, you know, Hydralisk Rush or whatever 2 or 3 years later, and it, you know, it was the same strategies over and over and over again. But that's the cool thing about League, is it changes quite often. Thoughts on Rel? I think she's really weak overall. That Rel seemed pretty good. She was doing some stuff that I wasn't expecting. I was getting stun locked a lot more than I was thinking, but I've only played against Rel a couple of times, and usually she gets stomped. So it might depend on how good the person is, but I feel like her numbers are just low. Like, she has an okay kit, but I think she needs a lower cooldown on her W to start with, and I don't know what else. But okay, so hold on. Let me see. I can show you a couple of things, and that's going to be it for the League games tonight. If you're interested in the stock stuff, I can point you to that real quick. Let me see. I'm trying to find. There's a lot of good stuff out there, but I know there was this one. I think this was it. No, wait, that's not Tasty Trade. I don't think that was the person. Here we go. Now this is a bit older.
Hey everyone, this is Kirk here again.
It looks like this is like really old though. Oh no, he's done some stuff. Okay, so he has some newer stuff. It's just some of his stuff is catalog that's older. So this is where I would look up a bunch of stuff. Now there's probably other good resources too. But he has like different basics and talking about different kinds of options. Like consistent income trading options. This is probably what I would look at. How to generate consistent income. Strategies for monthly income and stuff like that. So Options Alpha. This guy's not trying to all caps you. Like, he really had some very good advice. So I'm not sure that 100% that's going to be ultra beginner friendly, but I think it's pretty. I think he breaks it down and explains it pretty well. You know, most of the videos are like 15 to 30 minutes, so they're not that long, but they're not so fast that they're not going to give you substance. So I really like that guy a lot. I've thought about doing like some investing stuff on this channel, but I just don't know how much. Then I can show you here. Let me see if this is going to show without getting onto any specific platform, trading platform. If you look at, I think they show you a little bit on like CNBC. So I don't own JP Morgan right now. I'm just using that as an example because this is a kind of thing you might be able to option out something that's in like the $100 a share or less. Like Amazon is really hard to do options on or something like that because it's super expensive. It's like almost $2,000 a share. It might even be more than that at this point. Let me see if it show. Does it show? I'm trying to remember. Profile options. Okay. So they'll show a couple here, probably. And these are updated throughout the day, but expiring December and 20. So how many? I don't know how many days that is from now. This is like a super janky. If you have like a real trading platform like E-Trade, or I'm sure a lot of the other ones, it's going to be a lot more clear. But let's say that we go to the January ones here. That means that it's going to expire sometime in January at 120 in the strike price. What? Oh, it's got a weird symbol to it. I don't... Oh, strike price is in the middle? Okay. So let's say that... you look at like 120, which is where the current strike price is. I don't know why there are different... This is like super janky. Last call... on the calls. Okay. And then the puts, open interest, puts are okay. So if we look at 120 here, so let's say that what I was talking about earlier, I don't know why there are these different prices. But let's say that you're just like, you know what? I want to be guaranteed $113 in order for, you know, in an agreement to buy this for $117 a share sometime in January. Then you could set that up. So you would just sell this put, and then you're guaranteed the $113, but you would have to either close out of this position or you'd have to hold $11,000 in order to do that. So it'd be about like a little bit less than 1%. For a month to hold this, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you did that every month, if you just went below the strike and you got 1% every month, that's a 12% return in a year, you know. And if it doesn't go below 117, then you just get to keep your $113. If it goes to below 117, then you get to buy it at 117. So if it goes to 116, it's like, yeah, you just lost you know, $1 worth, so $100 worth. You still get to keep the 113 no matter what, though. So really, in order for you to lose money on this, it would have to go below 116, and it's at 120 right now. So it would have to lose $4. But if you just owned JP Morgan outright anyways, then you would have just lost $400, right? You would have just lost $4 per share, so $400. So it's a lot more defensive. So it can go down to 116, and you're still making money. But if it explodes higher, if it goes higher than 121, then you lost theoretical money, right? You lost the potential money you could have earned if you just owned the stock and it went up, right? But you still keep the 113 no matter what. You always get the 113 if you sell. So, anyways, but yeah, I just look at the option guy. He'll explain it, but I think options are, if you study them and if you do stuff that's really defensive to try to earn income, I think they can be a really good financial instrument. I would not speculate with it. Some of those scenarios I talked about earlier are super risky unless it's just kind of play money. You know, money that you're not afraid of losing, like if you went to a casino or something. But those can be good. Or you can just get the spider. If that's just way too complicated or whatever, like I mentioned before, just get ETFs. The spider one's the best one. So you can just buy these for $3.17 a share, and that basically represents everything in the S&P 500, which are the 500 biggest companies in the United States. So it's super diversified, and you know it's going to go up over time. Like there'll be little moments where it goes down, but it's almost always going to go up. It's going to crush bonds. It's going to beat everything. So a lot of people have a hard time beating the index, as they say. So they have a hard time doing better than the average of the companies anyways. So I think you can do it with options. You can be more defensive, and in a year where the market is flat or even slightly down, you're going to outperform. But recently, for the last 12 years, markets have basically been straight up like a rocket ship because of a lot of stuff going on in the markets. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the S&P 500 over time, right? I mean, it goes up like 2008, 2007, 2008. Yep, there's a dip. 1998, 99. Yeah, there's a dip. It goes down. So this was kind of the lost decade, as they called it, to where it really didn't go anywhere. If you look at it from like 99 to 2009, the market was totally flat. So you would have been better off by just doing the options things I talked about and just locking in that income over time. But, from 2010 onward, it's just nuts, right? It's like tripled. So, I mean, there could be a massive crash, but people have been saying that ever since like 2010, 2011, 2012. People have been saying, oh, it's going to crash. It's up way too much. And then it just keeps going, right? Like this year, it was supposed to be like another Great Depression because of COVID. It's like, well, everybody got scared. It went down, and then it went up like a rocket ship. So, it'll event like S&P 500. I do think it'll probably come back down eventually at some point, but it'll always end up going back up, I think. So that's like the safest thing to do. I think if you're in a different country, you have to look it up and see, but I mean, all of these are publicly traded companies, so I'm pretty sure you can own them from anywhere in the world. And that's another huge part of why the U.S. companies are going up, because the U.S. is still thought to be one of the most stable place in the world, with some of the best countries or some of the best companies in the world, like Amazon, Google, and things like that. And so, yeah, if you're in Europe or somewhere else, you can still, I'm pretty sure, buy shares of U.S. companies. And I think that's what's happened, right? When you've got Europe at like negative rates in Germany and other places, like almost no return on any investment. You've got some countries, it might, their credit may not be quite as good, and you're just not sure if you want to invest there or not. And that's why I think there's been a lot of international money like pouring into U.S. stocks, is because it gives the best return on stuff, and it's relatively safe. It's like, yeah, China's got some hot stuff too, some hot companies, but there's so much like regulation, right? The government can just say, hey, we want that company, and they just take it if they want to, right? So you just never know what's going on behind the scenes. Like, yeah, U.S. has some kind of shady stuff, but for the most part, U.S. is pretty transparent about the companies, and treats most of the companies pretty well. And so that's why I think just that kind of visibility and just a lot of the stuff going on with the U.S. companies makes it a pretty favorable place. And I think that's why there's been a lot more people like putting money in the U.S. as opposed to some of the other places. But anyways, I would do something that's highly diversified most of the time, unless you are really know an industry well. And I will say as well, just on a final note before I head out here, you can listen in on a company's conference call anytime you want for free, even if you don't own the company. So if I just look up like JP Morgan, I'm not sponsored by JP Morgan. You can go in and just look under events. And you can look at events and reports, and it tells you upcoming events. You can listen to these. You can listen to their fourth quarter conference call anytime you want. You can listen to, if they have like some kind of banking summit or banking meeting or whatever that's public, you can listen to that. So the JP present at the Goldman Sachs U.S. Financial Services. Maybe you couldn't make it on the 8th. You can listen to a recording of it on the 20th. So if you're serious about it, if you really want to invest in companies and really like have the inside scoop, you can get a lot of the inside scoop by listening to these things. So if you listen to their like earnings conference call, and they're usually just like an hour long, they'll just talk about what all is going on, and then these analysts will ask them usually some pretty hard-hitting questions like, hey, I see you didn't make as much money here as we thought you would make. Why is that? Oh, you're starting this new like venture over here. How's that going? Oh, how is your competition, going with this and this? So it's pretty sometimes with some industries, especially tech, it can be really technical and difficult to understand what they're talking about. But I've listened to these before with companies. And I think, honestly, if you're going to own individual stocks, you need to be listening to at least the quarterly conference call. It's just an hour every, 3 months. But then that way you know what's going on, right? Because sometimes, the news places, the CNBC will give you the highlights sometimes on the company. But a lot of times just listening can give you a much better vibe. Well, I'm talking about transparent compared to somewhere like China, which is the other huge growing place right now. So US has a lot of problems with transparency and things like that, but I'm just talking about compared to other places, and especially the legal system is more of what I meant in terms of that the US government's not just going to come in and take over JP Morgan any moment, right? Whereas you're not sure about that in some countries around the world. But anyways, okay. Well, I hope this helps out anyone that's interested in thinking about investing. Just look at the conference calls, study options if you want to. Just please only do the really safe stuff with options, right? Only do the small stream income. Either do the covered calls where you own the stock and you just want a little bit of extra income if you're going to do it, or sell the put, which is basically you get that guaranteed income to buy a stock at a lower price, a stock that you wanted to buy anyways. Those are the only two things I'd recommend. Don't do the speculative thing. And it didn't show you there in that janky CNBC version, but most trading platforms, at least E-Trade does this, and I think a lot of other places will too. It'll tell you the implied probability of success on a certain trade based on how it's priced. So they'll say, okay, this trade, the kind of trades I was talking about, it says that it's going to say the probability is 75 or 80% you're going to make money on that. Right? Versus, some of the more speculative stuff is going to tell you the probability is 20%. And it's not always correct, but you really want those high probability trades. That's what the dude talks about in the video that I shared. But anyways. Okay, well, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. I'll try to see if I can come out with a new tier list tomorrow. Just sort of talking about, they did some hot fixes yesterday, which I don't think affected the meta that much. But we can talk about the tier list. And then I know I have a recon guide coming up. I'm going to keep publishing the Cyberpunk stuff. I'll probably get back on Witcher at some point. And then I'll have some more stuff coming out for you as well. But anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Have a good day. And we'll see everybody next time.